10 seconds.
Okay, good afternoon and welcome everyone to Year 7 event on this lovely fine afternoon. My name is James Wilson. I'm the principal at Bacons College. Hopefully I've seen many of you before when you came to visit the school, and I hope you have a really good and informative event this afternoon. So firstly, I just want to say how absolutely thrilled and delighted I am that you have chosen Bacons College for your child in September. I love standing in front of all of you at the open events back in last September and October, telling you all about the great things that Bacons does and giving you what I hope was a really honest and realistic view of the school. And I'm really grateful and delighted that after all of that, you've chosen us as the place of education for your child. So thank you ever so much in having that trust and confidence in us. I always remember standing in front of you at those open events, and I'm really proud of everything this school does. And I remember distinctly saying, I really want you to come and see it in practice while the school is working. And I'm really glad that so many of you chose to do that, so that you could see that everything I was saying was actually happening in the flesh, in reality, when you came to visit the school. And I'm glad you must have been pleased with what you saw. We think Bacons is in a really good place. You know, the school's been on a rapid improvement journey over the last few years. We've got through the last couple of years of the pandemic really strongly as well. And we think the school is in a really great place at the moment, and with an ever brighter future ahead. I talk to lots of people in the local community, and I hear loads of great feedback about how well they think Bacons is doing, and the reputation of the school is clearly growing and improving. To the extent that of the families that are joining us in September, we've got 193 of those families are first choices. So that's almost every single family that's joining us in September is a first choice, which is wonderful, and that's nearly double what it's been in previous years. So thank you once again for the trust and confidence you've shown in us. Our mission statement as a school is that we will ensure that all students are well educated, cared for and exhorted to achieve the academic and personal excellence that will lead to university, skilled work and a fulfilled life. So that's what we want to achieve as a school. That's what we get out of bed for in the morning. And that's what we want for your children from when they join us in September to when they leave, hopefully 7 years later down the line. I'm going to hand you over shortly to a number of staff that are going to talk to you about the experience for next year. It's going to be a really informative event. It's going to be lots of information given to you, but don't worry about taking it all in now, because we'll send you out the slides, and there's lots more information that you'll have access to on the website as well. But now's an opportunity for you to listen to what the staff are saying about what's going to happen in September. And then if you've got any questions, if you put them in the chat, what we'll do is we'll try and go through as many of those questions as we can towards the end, or we'll sort of group them together if there's a similar theme. Okay, right, so once again, thank you ever so much for being with us in September. We're absolutely looking forward to seeing your child here, keen, eager and ready to make the next 5 or 7 years a success at Bacons. And then after that, I'm going to now hand you over to, first of all, it's Mrs. Bennett. Over to you, Mrs. Bennett.
Hello, just want to take this opportunity to say a massive thank you for choosing Bacons College, and I hope that you're all happy with your choice and the offer that we've given you. My name is Mrs. Bennett. I'm the current head of Year 7, and I'll be going through some of the information that you'll hopefully find quite useful in terms of, as parents, the transition and how to support your child with the transition, and as a student, what information that you might need to prepare yourself for the transition over the next few months. We're going to move on to the next slide, where we're going to introduce to you the senior leadership team. As you can see, these are the members of a senior leadership team who have key responsibilities in making sure that the school runs quite smoothly. I work very closely with each and every single member of the senior leadership team just to make sure that transition itself is well supported, not just in Year 7, but ultimately throughout the whole school career. So as you've already seen and met, you've met Mr. Wilson, who's our principal. We've got our vice principal here today as well, who's Mr. Sargent. We've also got Mr. Hall, who's the vice principal for curriculum. We've also got our assistant principal, Senko, Ms. Mataria, available here today to answer some questions. And we've also got other vice principals and assistant principals who are not here, but will be around if you are down to have a visit with us, or will be here when you have your induction transition day in July. As you can see, is a picture of myself looking very happy. I am the head of Year 7, as you can see, and I'm also the curriculum leader for ICT and Computer Science. I work very closely in the Key Stage 3 office with the pastoral manager, Mr. Daniels, who's responsible for safeguarding and wellbeing. We also have our attendance officer, Ms. Carol, who is responsible for monitoring the student attendance. And then we have our college chaplain, Reverend Nikki, who's responsible for acts of collective worship. Now, I would like to take this opportunity to say how this journey itself will be different for every student and every family. We recognise that, and we hope to essentially try and support you all in your own individual ways. If for whatever reason you may have specific questions or specific queries after today's event, please do get in contact with us. We're very keen to support you, as we do recognise that every student's journey to secondary school is different. So one of the first things we've set up is the school website, which we have a dedicated area for the transition for Year 6 to 7 students. Already on the website, we have some information about the transition itself. We'll be releasing some parent guardian forms. At the moment, we've got the music form on there. We've also released the first transition newsletter, which I'll be talking to you about later on. But the transition newsletters will be available on the school website, as well as summer projects before the summer holidays. You will see on the screen, we can see a quick screenshot of what this website looks like, and you can see a snapshot of one of the Bacon's College welcome videos that we've set up there to welcome all the families joining us in September. The next key information that I'd like to share with you is the parent form that will be sent to you the week commencing the 16th of May. This particular form is called the enrolment form, which we expect all families to complete by the 9th of June. On the 9th of June, you will be invited to come in and visit us at Bacon's College for an information evening. We'll be providing you with more information. But at that evening, we would like that all families bring their enrolment booklet along with the child's original birth certificate, proof of address, original passport and photo ID of legal guardians, and any other supporting evidence that you may need as part of your enrolment booklet. In regards to supporting evidence, that may be your evidence for your free school meals applications. It might be any medical forms that you might want to pass on to us. If your child is asthmatic, you might need to complete the asthmatic form, and any other supporting evidence. If you're not sure in terms of whether anything needs to be submitted with the enrolment form, please get in contact with us at transition@baconscollege.co.uk or schooloffice@baconscollege.co.uk. As mentioned already, we offer music instrument lessons here at Bacon's College, and if you would like your child to start music instrument lessons when they join in September, please complete the music instrument form that's available on the school website in the transition section. One of the key information that some of the parents have identified as one of the areas that they'd like us to address in tonight's information event is information about the uniform. So our uniform is available at the Whitehall Clovers in Camberwell, which is open. I do believe sometimes they do expect that you that you make an appointment to go in and visit them, but it may just be worth you giving them a call just to double check. All the information in regards to uniform is available on our school website. In terms of when you visit the school uniform shop, you may need to make sure that you go in with a list in terms of what the requirements are for the uniform. So that will be the blazer, the tie, the kilt if you have a female student, and definitely the PE kit. In previous years we have provided students with the ties, but we're not doing that this particular year. So please make sure that you do purchase a school tie from Whitehall Clovers when you join. The next thing on the list was the equipment list, and a lot of parents are keen to get shopping. So we've provided the equipment list on the screen for you here. The equipment list includes a lot of sort of key things that they need. So pens, rulers, calculator, ideally a scientific calculator, a math set, some highlighters, ideally a clear pencil case. The planner will be provided to them in September. And ideally, all their equipment needs to be able to fit in a big rucksack. And when I say big rucksack, I mean a rucksack that's big enough to fit an A4 book or folder. And you may also want to provide your child with a separate bag for their PE kit. I would strongly advise that all equipment, uniform and sort of rucksacks or any extra accessories are labelled with your child's name. I would also suggest that they include a pair of headphones that has an aux connection and a bottle of sanitizer. I'm now going to pass over to Mr. Sargent, who's going to talk about the home and school partnership.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm just going to talk through a few points regarding the items that you can see on the screen currently. Firstly, to start off with attendance. So our attendance policy at school is that we want every student to be here 100% of the time. We are aware that at times people and young people become unwell, and that may mean that they can't attend school, but we all aim to attend 100% of the time and on time to school as well. The school target is 97% and above, and you can see the impact of missing 10 days or more at school would mean that 50 lessons have been missed over the duration of the academic year, and this can have a significant impact on a child's progress that they make at school. The next point I'd like to address is in regard to behaviour. We believe here at Bacon's College that every lesson should be disruption free, and that every minute of that lesson is valuable in terms of learning and students making the progress across all areas of the school. In order to make that progress, we have a warning system. If a student's disruptive inside the lesson, they receive a warning. If they receive a second warning, their name is wrote on the board with 2 ticks. And if they receive a third warning, then they're asked to leave the lesson and make their way to our isolation room. They would spend the remainder of that lesson in the isolation room, and then they return to any lesson after that. If they receive 2 referrals within the week, then they remain in the isolation room for a full school day. It's a really fair but firm approach to learning that we have here at the school, and we want and have high expectations of our pupils in order to bring about the best from them. Coupled with our rewards policy, our behaviour policy, and in line with that, we also have a rewards policy. We have a lesson ready 5, and we expect students to be prepared for the lessons, arrive on time, move with pace and purpose through the corridor, and work hard and be polite to every member of our school community. In regards to the rewards, we have a rewards policy that students work towards points, and they can achieve a point in every lesson. They work towards a bronze award, a silver award, and a gold award. And all students within a year group compete against each other to try and aim for the top 70, to be in the top 70 at the end of the academic year for points achieved. Those students that do achieve or are within the top 70 are then rewarded with a rewards trip, and we celebrate this at the end of every half term with rewards assemblies for each individual year groups. Within those rewards assemblies, we have additional prizes for maths, English, science, modern foreign languages, and a number of different subjects at that time. We also have a Pride of Bacon's nomination, which normally comes via the heads of year, who nominate a member of the school community within their year group who's shown exceptional performance or made an exceptional contribution to school life. And finally, just to talk about homework. The homework policy at school is that every student, when they arrive in September, will receive a Chromebook. As part of that offer, all our homework is set online, and that is through different platforms that we set that homework. Seneca, Hegarty Maths, or Sparks, and students complete that work, and that work goes directly to their teaching, their subject teachers, and that work is marked for them. The homework timetable operates on a weekly basis. So, for example, if maths homework was set on a Monday, a student has a week to complete that homework. If they don't complete that homework, they'll be set a detention as part of our behaviour policy here at Bacon's College. As part of our homeschool partnership as well, we do offer transparency to you with the addition in recent years of the Arbor App. The Arbor App, which you'll be able to download in September and not before, once your child is enrolled at school. You'll have access to a daily profile of what has happened for them, both positive and negative. You'll also be able to see their timetable for the week. And in addition to that, platforms like Show My Homework, which you can see here, will allow you to monitor your child's homework on a regular basis throughout the week, so you can support them with the completion of that work. We do really value the homeschool partnership here at Bacon's. We very much see that as a triangle in terms of the relationship we have with the student at the top of that triangle, and us as a school and you as parents supporting their progress from year 7 all the way through to year 11. I just mentioned briefly about parent communication. The website is central to the communication that we provide to you. We also have a weekly roundup newsletter which goes out via email to all of our parents. And there may be additional emails that go out for specific announcements. The Arbor app, which I mentioned previously, allows you to monitor what is going on for your child on a daily basis at school. And I've also talked to Show My Homework, which allows you to monitor the homework that is set on a daily basis via that weekly rota. We have parent forums, and we've been very pleased with the progress that we've made this year around the work with parent champions, who hopefully will get to meet you at some of the year 6 to 7 transition events that we've got planned in the summer and then into September, who can share their experiences at Bacon's College and support you on that journey. We'll also have regular events to meet you, and also for visits to the college and discuss issues that may arise throughout your time with us. So just going back to the parent portal provides you an update of information on your child. You can update your personal details via the app. It's really important that we have all the accurate information in regard to mobile telephone numbers and emails that allow us to make contact with you on a regular basis. You can view your child's calendar, which is their daily timetable, and then we will provide you with an in-app service which gives you notifications or messages from the school via the parent portal app. If there's any questions, we're happy to take those at the end. I'm now going to pass over to Miss Mataria, who talked to you a little bit about the SEND provision that we have here at Bacon's College.
Thank you, Mr. Sargent. Thank you, Mr. Wilson and Mrs. Bennett. This is a really exciting time of year for me. It's one of my favourite times of year because we always get to greet the best things that we have about our school and to introduce you to the school. So also, I went through the same thing that you're probably going through now, those butterflies in your stomach, with my own daughter this time last year. So I know the sorts of things that you're really interested and want to know about, particularly if your child struggles with some aspects of learning. So my other part of the job is also that I support Miss Bennett as the lead SLT for year 7. So your child will see a lot of me, hopefully, and you will hopefully, if you need more support from us, you'll be meeting me or a member of my team. So we've got members of my team. We have 3 LSAs, we have 2 SEN teachers, myself, and then the Deputy Senko, Miss Isaac, as well. So I've been here for just over 5 years. I really enjoyed the journey, and it has been a really amazing, rapid journey of improvement. And I know that some parents are really pleased with the support that we're able to put in place here. So one of our aims here is that we want to make sure that when they get here, that your child is increasing their independence and they are happy and they are achieving the qualifications that we and you want them to have, so then they can choose what they want to do when they lead. Unfortunately, sometimes for all of us, including myself, our journeys can get a little bit stuck. And so in order for us to be able to get to that independence, we are there to support your child with those issues, the struggles that they might experience. So what we want and what we really want to do is work with you to support you and to support your child going into the next year group. And so when it comes to taking GCSEs, that they are happy and that we put in all of the support, so then they come out saying, I've done my very, very, very best and I've worked hard. You might meet some of my team if some of you have children who have got a diagnosis. What we normally do for our transition is we will have you in with your child for an extra hour. You'll come with them, we'll take you around to the school again, and then we'll fill in something called a personal learning plan, which you will help us to also add in with your child. And what that will do is it will help the teachers to know you and to know your child, so that when they get into the lessons on that first day, we can start putting in some of the similar things that happened for you over at the primary school as well. So I'm really, really looking forward to meeting some of you. I'm looking forward to working with your child. And I know that you are probably feeling quite anxious and you've got butterflies in your stomach, and that's exactly how I felt. And then when I met some of the team that for my daughter's school, it did make me feel better. So we're looking forward to seeing you in June for the meeting on the day that your child will be coming to the school. So we look forward to seeing you then. I think I'm passing on to Mr. Wilson.
Okay, good afternoon everyone, welcome back. So in terms of our school day, you'll be able to see this on the website if it looks a bit small to you now, but school day starts for year 7 at 8:25 in the morning, and it starts with a line-up, which we always do in the sports hall. At line-up, we welcome students, we give them a sort of briefing for the day, check uniform, check equipment, make sure everyone's ready and set up to start their day calmly and purposefully and positively as well. After line-up, we have a registration period where they'll be with their form tutor. There's always an activity in tutor time, including a tutor time reading programme and even an assembly or another activity as well. We have 6 lessons in the day, and those lessons are 50 minutes apart from Friday. I'll say a bit more about that in a moment. We have a 20-minute break in the middle of the morning, and then we have a lunch break of 35 minutes in the afternoon as well. And the lunch breaks here are staggered, so the younger students have their lunch break at a different time, and their morning break as well at a different time to the older students. And every year group has their own area to go to. So we did this at the start of the pandemic. We found out it worked really well, so we thought we'd keep it. So that means that year 7 students can have a safe space where they're not in direct contact with the older students, and they can be more independent at break and lunchtime in their own space. On Tuesday and Wednesday, as Mr. Sargent said, we really do push the value of homework here to support learning outside of lessons. So on Tuesday and Thursday, we have what's called IST, which stands for Independent Study Time. And on those days, students will go back to their tutor rooms, they will open their Chromebooks, and they'll work independently in silence for 50 minutes during that time. So as well as giving them 100 minutes during the week under our supervision to start and do their homework, that won't be enough to complete everything, but it does mean it sets up that culture of independent work, because we're very confident our students can work well when we're teaching them and they can engage and behave and everything else, but we want to make sure they can also do that independently when we're not always with them as well. So if we can start that process in school, when they go home, they've still got their Chromebook, they know their homework programme, and they should know how to work independently and in silence without distractions and get on with their homework. It's been a really, really big change for the school this year, and it will pay dividends when we see the outcomes going forward. After the end of the day, we have detentions every day. Mr. Sargent said something about those. They're normally half an hour and they're on the same day, and you'll receive a text message if your child is in detention. For all of that hard work students do during the week, including the independent study time, we give everyone a treat, and on Friday we finish slightly early, so we just pinch off 5 minutes of every lesson on Friday, and we use that to finish at 2:30 on a Friday. So on Friday, after period 6, they'll go back to their tutor rooms, and they'll finish with their tutor at 2:30. It's a lovely way to finish the week. It's a really positive end to the week, and they can get away at 2:30. And once again, since we've introduced that, that's proved to be a really positive thing. And that is the school day. Thank you. Back to you, Mrs. Bennett.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. One of the questions that quite a few of the parents posted in the form that we sent out before the event was asking how, as a school, how we're going to essentially support you and your child with the transition. So the induction program is very detailed in the sense that we try to both provide parents and guardians with a bit of reassurance during this process as well, because we can understand how it can be quite daunting for you, especially if it's your first child going into secondary school. And we also offer different events for students specifically as well, so that they can come in and sort of get a feel of what the school will be like when they join. So one of the key things that we will be introducing and holding this year is the information evening, which is on the 9th of June from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. This event was mentioned earlier in this event, where I mentioned that the enrolment booklet needs to be completed and brought to this particular event. At this information evening, you'll be finding out more about the systems and policies that we have at the school, as well as meeting a lot of the SLT members who will essentially be speaking to you and answering any questions, as well as going through any of the documentation that you provide on that evening. Just on that note, at the evening, I believe we've also invited Whitehall Clovers to come in and present a uniform to you, so you have an idea of what uniform you'll need to purchase. I believe that they will be there for the entire evening, and they'll have a section of the information evening to actually speak to you directly as well. For students, we've allocated the 4th or the 5th of July 2022 as a transition morning, where your child will be coming in to spend the morning at Bakins College to go for a tour, to ask any questions, and to also get a feel of what it would be like just to be a student at the school. Please note that it does say the 4th or the 5th of July. Parents will be informed shortly in June as regards to what day has been allocated to your child. We're trying to work with primary schools to make sure that there are no trips happening. But at the moment, it will be the 4th or the 5th of July. If for whatever reason these days don't work for your child, please get in contact with us and we'll try to accommodate you as much as we can. Your child will be starting their secondary school journey on Wednesday, the 7th of September, which is slightly earlier than the rest of the college. Your child will be coming in for the morning only from 8:25 to 12:30, and that day will be the day when they meet their head of year and their tutor. It will be a dedicated day for the students just to familiarise themselves in the new setting, ease themselves in, ask any questions, and then essentially make sure that any issues are addressed. We will have a full college opening on the 8th of September. Moving on to the next slide, please. Thank you. The next thing that we will be doing is the transition newsletters that will be released on the school website. This was introduced during the lockdown, and we unfortunately wasn't able to accommodate for the students to come into the school. But we've decided to continue with this as the feedback about the transition newsletters have been very positive. So the first newsletter was released today. The first newsletter itself is just to get to know the students and the families. So you will see some basic introductions, and then there will be a form for you to complete for us just to get to know you. On the screen, you will see the release dates of the 6 newsletters, including the summer transition curriculum booklet after today's newsletter has been released. Each particular newsletter addresses different concerns that are commonly an issue with transition. So, for example, some students get quite anxious about what it would be like to actually be at school. Some students get worried about getting lost. Some students wonder what the lessons will be like. So each of those different newsletters will address each concern. One that you might find particularly useful and you might want to revisit a couple of times is the newsletter that provides the tour, which is preparing yourself for the secondary school transition. Another key question that was put on the form that was sent around to the parents before the event was, what are the term dates for next year? So we've decided to put the term dates on the screen for you, and these dates are also available on the school website. Okay, I believe that is the end of our information and Q&A event. If you would like to post a question in the chat box, please do. You have a couple of minutes. But what I would like to do is pose one of the questions to Mr. Wilson and Ms. Mataria, which was one of the questions that was put on the form that the parents would like us to address. So one of the questions was, how do we set and group our classes for when the students join in September?
Yep, thank you. I can do that one, Mrs. Bennett. So as I said when I met you back at the open events, we believe that students should be in ability groups all the way through their schooling. So we don't do mixed ability teaching here. We're very proud of being a fully comprehensive school, and all our tutor groups are entirely mixed ability. So students do mix and establish good relationships with everyone else, regardless of their ability or background. You know, that's part of the culture of the school. But when students are taught, we feel they should be in ability groups. So right the way from the start of year 7, we will put students into what we call streams. So they'll be in mixed ability tutor groups, but when they go to their lessons, we look at the data that we've got from primary school, and we will be able to put them into teaching groups, which are called streams, and the streams will be based on the attainment levels of the students. It also means that we can have the highest attaining groups can be larger, and the groups of lower attaining students that need more individual support and intervention, they can be smaller, so they can get that support they need in order to catch up and keep up with their learning. So it really does work for everyone, and it is our educational philosophy that it works well, and that's supported by the research also. In some subjects, as they go through the school into year 8, 9 and above, they will go into what we call sets. So in subjects like maths, for example, all of the year group will be taught maths at the same time, and the math department will divide the students up into sets based on the attainment of the students. And again, that enables the teacher to target the work at that particular ability group. So they're not trying to cater for the full ability range in one class. They can target the work to suit the ability level of the class they've got in front of them. During the course of year 7 and beyond, every time we do a round of assessments, we look at the data, and what we don't actually do is we don't take 195 students, and every time we do a test we say, right, there's the first 30, there's the next 30, there's the next 30. We don't do it as clear cut as that. We will place the students in the group which we think is right based on the data we've got, and then every time we do a set of assessments, we'll look to see which students should change group. And what we're doing is really looking for anomalies rather than just trying to regroup the whole year group every few months. It's not what we do, but we'll look to say some students are struggling in that class, they'd be better off being somewhere where they need more support, or some students are exceeding in that class and they can maybe move to another group where they get more challenge. We never use language like promote and demote. We never use language like up and down. That's not what it's about. We put the students in the group that's most appropriate for them according to their progress at that time. So it's all ability teaching right the way through for year 7. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. Another question that we got on the form was regarding some concerns about safeguarding and bullying. I think that question will be best sort of direct to Mr. Sargent.
Yeah, thank you, Mrs. Bennett. I'm pleased to say that we've been audited a number of times this year regarding our safeguarding at school, and it has been outstanding. We have a safeguarding team that comprises of myself as the designated safeguarding lead, a safeguarding manager, and then made up of 4 other members of staff that make up the safeguarding team that support the work that we do with the young people here, as well as the behaviour policy that we have in place to support the young people here. We provide them with a lot of support as well. So we have our PSHE program. We have a worship module that runs throughout the mornings for the young people, and that is carried out through acts of worship, not just in assemblies, but also during tutor time. We have a PSHE program where we create time on the timetable for young people to discuss issues that are going on, not just for them, but for their peers and in the wider community. So we talk about contextual factors regarding safeguarding as well. And we provide a lot of intervention for the young people here as and when they need it, and identified by the pastoral team and the tutors as well. And that comes through in both sporting events or sporting activities, but also classroom-based sessions as well. And we're pleased to say that we've got a really strong pastoral team here that do everything to uphold that. And staff receive regular training on an annual basis so that we can support and develop the safeguarding practices that we have here at the school that are closely monitored and rigorously monitored on a daily basis. Thank you, Miss.
Thank you, sir. And we had a few students who are slightly concerned about bullying. Are you able to answer some questions in regards to how we address bullying at Bacon's?
Yep, of course. We have an anti-bullying policy which is available for you to view on our school website. Bullying is not tolerated at Bacon's College in no way, shape or form, and staff will quickly pick up on any incidents of bullying, and we've got to a position where the students actually report if they feel that bullying is taking place. We have a mediation service which is run by the Southwark mediation team, and we have students that are trained mediators in the 6th form and also in year 10. So if there are any incidents where students fall out, there'll be mediation that takes place between the 2 individuals or a group of individuals until we arrive at a place where we respect the boundaries of the school rules, but also we have an agreement which is then signed by the individuals so that they commit to there not being any more incidents of falling out or disrespect towards each other. And that is constantly enforced throughout the school year, and we have events like Anti-Bullying Week where we celebrate and support each other and our differences at school.
Thank you, Mr. Sargent. And there's one final question which I think I'll pose to Ms. Mataria. Ms. Mataria, we have some parents who are concerned about what they should do in regards to if their child has specific learning needs.
No problem, thank you, Ms. Bennett. It's a number of things. I think the first thing is to contact the school. So you can find my email on the school website, or you can phone the school, you can make an appointment to see me. Generally what we will do is, if we don't already have that information from the primary school, which is part of the transition, is where we go to see the primary schools. The Senkos often contact me and I will contact them if they don't contact me first, and we will talk about all the needs of each student that they know about. And that's where, when I was talking earlier about the personal learning plan, that's what we will be writing to help the teachers to know how to support your child in the classroom. But if it's something where it's just come up and when you join us, contact me, and then we will ask the teachers about getting some feedback from them, and then we will meet and then we will discuss next steps. Sometimes that might be some more support from the teacher to specifically look at literacy or numeracy. It might be something else that has come up since starting secondary school, but the most important thing is that we communicate, we work together, so then we can do the best for your child. Hope that's answered your question.
Thank you, Ms. Mataria. Before I pass over to Mr. Wilson to say final farewells, I want to take this opportunity just to acknowledge the fact that this particular journey will be different for every family, like, as I mentioned at the beginning. And it's normal to feel anxious, it's normal to feel excited, it's normal to have worries. But I would like to just repeat myself and echo the fact that we are here to support you and your child in this process. So if you do have any questions, if you do have any queries, if you're not sure about anything, please get in contact with the school, either via telephone or drop us an email at transition@baconscollege.co.uk or school office at baconscollege.co.uk as well. I'm now going to pass over to Mr. Wilson.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Bennett. Thank you very much to Mrs. Bennett, Ms. Mataria, Mr. Sargent, my colleagues for supporting us tonight. Thanks for you all for being here. I hope you found it useful. I know there's a lot of information there, but like I said, don't worry. It's all available on the website as well for you to take in, and there'll be other transition events for you later on in the year as well. As has just been said, keep communicating with us. For general queries, Mrs. Bennett is the key point of contact for transition into Year 7. For SEND related matters, make direct contact with Ms. Mataria, and for anything around behaviour, safeguarding and so on, Mr. Sargent is the point of contact there. Anything else you want to discuss, if you contact the school office, then you can talk directly to me as well. The more we communicate, the better it is. So thank you very much once again. Congratulations and thanks for choosing us for your child in September. We're really looking forward to seeing them here. You know, we can get through all of those nerves and everything, and when students come, they do get settled in very quickly, and they have a great and really enjoyable time at Bacon. So we're really looking forward to that in September. So finally, have a very pleasant evening tonight. Have a wonderful Easter break, and I look forward to seeing you all in good time. So thank you very much, everyone. Take care and God bless.